Hello, and welcome back to the original Larry D's Food for Thought. Today we're going to be reading out of that old King James Bible as always. We're going to be reading out of the Old Testament and from the New Testament, to the law and to the testimony. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, okay? Also, we'll be going over a few scriptures today with this title, The Great Tribulation, God's Wrath and No Rapture. The Great Tribulation, God's wrath, and no rapture. Okay? I hate to bust people's bubble, but hey, ain't gonna be no rapture. I'm telling you that right now. But look here, I'm gonna share these scriptures with you right quick here. You can jot them down if you like. But yeah, first of all, man, we're looking at it. The Lord gonna have this man of sin. He gonna give him his day, 3.5 years. People think it's 7.5 years tribulation. No, no, it's not 7 years. It's only 3.5. Unless you mess around here and wait till the first 3.5 years pass, you're going to have yourself a problem. Okay. But immediately after that, when that tribulation is over with, guess what? Here come the Lord. And he going to pour his wrath out on this earth. And it is going to be nothing nice. And then, your pastor telling you that, hey, well, the Lord gonna rapture you up out of here. Gonna rapture the church up to heaven before the great tribulation. I got news for you. He's not gonna rapture when he come either. Okay, it's not gonna happen. Far as you gonna be able to get is up in the air. Okay, and that's it. All right, we're gonna show you where you're going from there, and it ain't heaven. All right, but I'm gonna stop sharing these. We're gonna go over these scriptures. Excuse me. See, if we can get a little better understanding on it. Because I'm going to tell you something, man. Them pastors, man, they simply ain't teaching y'all nothing in those Sunday churches, man. I mean, half of y'all know you ain't heard about the Great Tribulation. Now, some of you ain't heard about the holy place. You ain't heard about the abomination of desolation. You ask somebody, what is that? They don't even know what it is. Why? Because they don't teach them that. Why? Because they don't know. Okay? But one thing about it though, the Lord showed them some things. But the problem with that is they holding that righteousness, they holding that truth and unrighteousness. Okay. But anyway, we're gonna see if we can get a little understanding on this right here, and I hope you're paying attention to it. Because I'm gonna tell you something. You can best believe that what we're gonna read today is gonna happen, because all you gotta do is go and read this book or read the Old Testament. Quit listening to those people telling y'all to stay out of it. Go read it for yourself, and you can see everything that happened. You can prove it right there. Oh yeah, I seen that. Yeah, the Lord did that. That happened. What make you think what he wrote for the future ain't gonna happen? Hmm? Well, let's show you. We're gonna start this in Matthew. Matthew's the 24th chapter. And right here is when the Lord's disciples that came to him and they was asking him some questions right here. And let's see what transpired. Okay, this is Matthew's 24. I'm gonna start reading at verse 3, and it reads. And as Jesus sat, okay, upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Okay, let's see what the Lord told them here. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. See that? These guys, they deceiving you, telling you you going to heaven, telling you you're gonna be raptured, all of that stuff. Okay? The Lord said, don't let no man deceive you. Because a whole lot of people have been deceived. I'm telling you. Okay? But let's read on. I'm gonna go right to the logistics. Look at this. This is read here. It's Jesus speaking himself. Look, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. You better understand this. But see, the problem is, you've been told that the Old Testament been fulfilled and it's done away with. Oh, you don't need to go there. I'm gonna tell you something. You're missing out on a whole lot of stuff by not going to that Old Testament. What the Lord ever see? You don't read the Old Testament. You won't even know that the Lord told you, had it written, Isaiah 8 and 20. Hey, to the law and to the testimony. Uh, the law being the Old Testament, the testimony being the New Testament. He told you, he said, anybody not reading according to both of these? Look, it ain't no light in you. What is that light? Truth. Ain't no truth in you. You don't know. So you got to read it. Okay. But he said, let him understand. He told you, said, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, but you don't want to read Daniel the prophet because he in the Old Testament. Then the abomination of desolation. What is that? Hmm? I doubt if there's too many people out there can tell me. Okay. Then the holy place. What is that? And where is it at? Okay. These guys ain't teaching y'all nothing. Tell you something better, put the our suspect on them. Okay. Look, verse 16. Then let them which be in Judea flee unto the mountain. Gonna flee. You don't even know where to flee at. Okay. When that time come. Okay, when that great tribulation roll around, you ain't gonna know what to do because you ain't been taught. But let me show you how urgent it is, okay? How serious and how urgent it really is. Verse 17. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. Man, when you when that you find out that man of sin and moved over in that holy place, you better jump off that house running. You ain't got time to go back in there and get nothing out of the house. That's how urgent it is. I mean, it's not saying that per se, but it's telling you, just showing you the urgency of it when this happened. Okay? Because if you get caught up in it, shame on you. Okay? I'm telling you, man. Let's see now. Let's read on. Let's go. Verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation. That's great trouble, man. Look, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Well, you know that's going to be a terrible time. Look at this, 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. Wow. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So if the Lord don't come back and shorten this thing, man, this man will be done kill everybody and himself will have committed suicide. But the Lord gonna come back. He gonna cut it short. Okay. And thank God for that. But let's go over here and take a look at Daniel. 'Cause he told you Daniel and spoke of in the book of Daniel, Daniel the prophet. Let's see what he said here. Let's see what's going on here. This is Daniel 12, and I'm start reading at verse 1. And it reads, look, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble that we just read about over there in Matthew. Look, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Okay. Now, verse 7. Excuse me. And I heard the man's clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swore by him that liveth forever, that it shall be for a time. Listen at this. Times and a half. What is that? Time, 1 year, times 2 years. That's 3 years together, right? And a half. It's 3.5 years, people. I'm telling you, it ain't no seven. All right. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. Okay. And I heard, but I understood not. Daniel said he heard, but he don't understand. He didn't understand it, right? Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. And people, we are in the time of the end right now. Okay, and we understand this thing. Okay, look, verse 11. From the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. So, uh, when this man of sin, when he move over there and they place his cat in that holy place, they're gonna already be done started the sacrifice, and he gonna stop it. Okay. But when he get there, all heck gonna break loose. Okay. That's gonna kick off that great tribulation at 3.5 years and not seven. Okay. Now, let's go back to Matthew's right quick. Let me show you this here. Going back to Matthew's 24. Take a quick look at this. And this time we're going to start reading at, let's see, start reading at verse 29. And it reads, Now listen, this is still Jesus speaking himself. It's in red, right? Immediately after the tribulation of those days. So this is after the tribulation. Immediately after it. Look. So the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So, you mean to tell me that the Lord is not even going to come until after the great tribulation? So what make you think you're going to get raptured out of here before that great tribulation? The Lord ain't going to come until after it, you know? So they telling you stuff, told you, Lord told you, he said, look, let no man deceive you, telling you. And that's what's going on. But let's move on. Let's go over here to Isaiah right quick. I run over here to, go to Isaiah 34. Take a quick look at this here. This is, Isaiah 34. And let's see. I'm gonna start reading at verse 1. Now, right here. What's going on in my throat today? But anyway, Isaiah 34, and I'm gonna start reading at verse 1 and right here. This is future. Okay. This is future because this has not happened yet. All right. Listen to it. And this is what some of the stuff you be missing by not reading this Old Testament so you can prepare yourself and you'll know what's gonna happen. All right. Okay, Isaiah 34 and verse 1, and it reads, look, come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. So he speaks to everybody. Okay, look, for the indignation of the Lord, the what? The indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. You see that? Now, this is after the great tribulation when the Lord come. He finna pour his wrath out. Okay, look. He has utterly destroyed them. He has delivered them to the slaughter. Whoa. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stinks shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. Ooh. And you think the Lord coming back here smiling at somebody? Oh boy, you've been deceived. Okay, look. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree. For my sword, look, the Lord's sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. See that? Look, verse 6. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord has a sacrifice in Bozrah and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And what's he talking about? He talking about his uh swore the fool with blood of lambs and goats and fat and kidneys and all that. No, he ain't talking about them. He ain't talking about animals. He talking about people. Okay, think about that. Got a great slaughter coming. All right. But let's go further in. Let's go to Psalms right quick. On the 110th chapter of Psalms, man. Believe me, Lord come back, man, pouring out his rap. He ain't gonna be playing no games with nobody. Okay, he is not a respected person. You better be on his good side. All right. But this is a 110th chapter of Psalms, and I'm gonna start reading at verse 1. And it read, look. The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion, rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Let's see, verse 5. The Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath. Okay. He shall judge among the heathen. He gonna judge among them nations. Look, he shall fill the places with dead bodies. Whoa. See that? Look at that. He shall wound the heads over many countries. So the Lord come back, man. He gonna be doing some serious killing, man. He's gonna fill the places with dead bodies, man. Told you he ain't coming back here patting nobody on the head. He coming back here to wound some heads. You see that? All right. But let's go further right here. Let's go, let's see here. Let's go back to Isaiah right quick. Something else I want to show you here. This is Isaiah 66. And I'm going to start reading at verse 15. And it reads, listen, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger and fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. Now, have he did that yet? Nope. We still reading future here. Okay, look, for by fire and by his sword would the Lord plead with all flesh, and he ain't talking about come back here, oh, please do what I want to do, what I told you to do. Let me show you what his pleading is. Look at here. Uh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. He coming back here doing some killing. That's his pleading. You understand? Okay. Get on his good side. Start listening to those cats because they are deceiving you. Okay. But let's go further here. Let's go over here real quick to go to Revelation right quick. Going to Revelations, let's see, Revelation 6 chapter. I'm gonna start reading at verse 12. And it reads, look, and I beheld when he opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. You remember what we read over in Isaiah? The Lord gonna roll, had them angels roll that water back. Can you imagine the noise that's gonna make? Boy, heart's gonna fail. Okay. And every mountain and island were moved out of their places, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the den and the rocks of the mountain. Wonder why they do that. Let's see. And said to the mountains and rock, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. Who is the Lamb? It's Jesus, people. Hide them from it. Okay. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Nobody. Okay. Tell you, get it together. Read that Old Testament. Learn what it is the Lord gonna do and what he wants you to do and not do. And get on his good side before this comes, because we are right up on it. Okay. Right up on it. Now, let's go over here right quick. Let's go to First Thessalonians right quick. Something I want to show you here right quick here. This is First Thessalonians, the fourth chapter. And because these people still talking about that rapture, man, they've been stuck on being raptured off here to heaven. See what's gonna happen here. Let's look at this. This is First Thessalonians 4, I'm start reading verse 13. Excuse me. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, concerning those that are dead, right? That ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Jesus will God bring with them. In other words, those that have died and died in Jesus, keeping his word, okay? Laws and statutes and everything he said. All right. Verse 15. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. So it's still gonna be some people alive when the Lord come. And guess what? According to prophecy, you and we're gonna see this thing to the end. Okay. I ain't just saying that. Okay. Look. Verse 16, for the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. So, what he saying? The Lord himself, he going to descend from heaven. Look, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. You say meet him in heaven? No, meet him in the air, okay? And so shall we ever be with the Lord. A lot of people take that right there and say, oh, see that LD, Lord gonna take us on to heaven. He didn't say that. He said, you're gonna meet him in the air if you be so blessed to make that first resurrection, okay? That's why you got to get it together now and try and be ready, all right? But let's go and see where you're gonna forever be with the Lord. Let's take a look at it. People sure, man, like take that scripture right there and say, oh, there we go. We going to heaven. Yeah. Mhm. Guess the best heaven you're gonna make it to is that second heaven, which is in the air, and that's it. There's three heavens: earth being the first heaven, the air, and with the stars, the sun, the moon, and all the birds fly and all that. That's second heaven. Third heaven is beyond all that water that you're looking at every day up there, with which the Lord gonna roll back. Okay. That and beyond that, that's why the third heaven is. Okay. But let's take a look at this. This is Zechariah 14. I'm start reading at verse 1. And it reads, look, behold, the day of the Lord cometh. Here come the Lord. Look, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. You see that? Lord coming back here doing some battling. Look here. And the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Verse 3, then shall the Lord go forth and fight. You see that? Against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle. And his feet shall stand. Let's see where we're going after we meet him in the air. Look at this. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east. Huh. So you mean when the Lord come and stop in midair, and those that be so blessed to meet him in the air, y'all gonna come on back down here to the earth on the Mount of Olives? Yes. All right. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof towards the east and towards the west. There shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove towards the north, and half of it towards the south. And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Azel. Yeah, ye shall flee like ye fled before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah. And the Lord my God shall come, and all the saints with thee. Ah, okay. So you be so blessed to be one of those saints that met the Lord in the air. You're coming right back down here on this earth. There is no rapturing up to heaven. Okay? Get that out of your head. All right? Now, let's go to this last place right quick. Take a quick look at this. Now, you go up, if you could get up there, you'd be up there all by yourself, talking about, hey, hey, hello, 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 hello. Because you get a big echo because ain't gonna be nobody up there. But even the Father's coming down here. Okay? But let's look at this here and see what the Lord had John to write right here. This is Revelation 21, and start reading at verse 1. Look, and it reads, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God. Hmm. So the Lord is coming down here to be with us. We're not going up there to be with him. Okay, so you want to be with the Lord, where you got to be? Right here on this earth, not raptured. Okay, look, verse 5. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. Okay, the Lord said it, you can best better believe it. All right, verse 6. And he said unto me, it is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give it to him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. Okay? So Lord will be right down on this earth. There is no rapture. Okay? And the great tribulation, it's going to be terrible. And immediately after the tribulation, God's coming. And he going to pull his wrath out. Okay? So, and there is no rapture, people. So I hope you understood this. Take heed to it. Stop listening to those cats telling you this stuff that ain't true. Get in this book and read it for yourself and get some knowledge, okay? Before it's too late. So with that food for thought, think on these scriptures and words throughout the course of the day. And until next time, peace.